What's up guys, this is Danny from Rethink Peer-to-Peer Lending. Welcome to this very first video on this brand new YouTube channel. In today's video, I want to give you some insights to my current 60k plus peer-to-peer lending portfolio, as well as discuss the most recent events that have happened on a number of platforms. Before we get started, let me give you a very brief and short introduction about myself. I am now 33 years old. I was born and raised in Berlin, Germany, but currently living and working remotely from Chania, which is a small city here on the Greek island Crete. Personally, I am investing into loans for a bit more than 5 years by now, so I gathered already quite a bit of experience in this area. Now, in case you are a regular peer-to-peer investor, you may have seen my face before. This is most likely due to my German YouTube channel, Rethink Peer-to-Peer Kredite, which I started about 4 years ago. For 2023, I decided to post my portfolio updates also in English, aside from also a couple of other reviews that I want to talk about on this channel. So in case you like what you see and hear, then please make sure to subscribe to also get notified for future videos. Alright, then let's jump right into my portfolio developments from last month. Overall, I was able to earn a total interest of 462 euros from my peer-to-peer investments, which is the highest income I had since January 2020. A personal best income earning was achieved at PeerBerry last month with a total of 197 euros and 50 cents. In terms of performance, I was able to achieve personal bests on 4 different platforms. Leading here is also PeerBerry again with 12.67%, followed by Income Marketplace with 11.12%, LANDE with 10.76% and Twino with 10.23%. My performance on Estateguru is unfortunately trending according to the increasing defaults on the platform. Currently, it is only at 7.9%, which is the lowest overall return since September 2020. The record for the worst performance remains with Bondora Portfolio Pro, where the performance declined to a historical low of 2.36%. Overall, I had 3 transactions in the previous month. I was withdrawing 1,000 euros each from Via Invest as well as Neo Finance and then reallocated those funds to Esketit. The value of my outstanding portfolio showed an increase last month from 60,710 euros to 61,174 euros. In terms of my target to hit an outstanding portfolio of 160,000 euros by March 2027, I am currently 3,066 euros behind, and my performance delta has also increased to 2,255 euros. Next, we are checking out the most recent events that have happened on a number of platforms. Usually what I do is I focus mostly on the ones that are also within my personal portfolio, and the order is according to my outstanding portfolio from high to low. Which means we're starting off with PeerBerry, where despite the difficult circumstances last year due to the war in Ukraine, the platform managed to facilitate 537 million euros through the marketplace, which means a strong second place in terms of funded loan volume in Europe, only behind Mintos with 830 million euros. Clearly, a key reason for the strong performance is the reliability regarding the war-affected repayments. Recently, there was another 1.8 million euros paid back to investors, which means already 62% of war-affected loans have been paid back in the past 11 months. Next, we are looking at Bondora, where 16.1 million euros were financed in December, which was the highest monthly amount of the entire last year. In total, this led to a financed amount of 173.8 million euros, which is a new record on an annual basis for the platform. Just as in November, there have been no new loans issued in the Netherlands last month. Instead, the platform is still observing the performance from the first batch of loans. Anyone who has recently taken a closer look at the statistics will have noticed that the historically achieved net return at Bondora has now already dropped to the level of Go&Grow a trend that has already been ongoing for several months now. From my perspective, this goes to show that Bondora is not only having issues with the supply of new loans, but primarily a performance-related problem, which then also led to measures such as the deposit limit or the introduction of Go&Grow Unlimited. The pressure for the platform is certainly not becoming less, especially due to the increasingly attractive interest rates on saving deposits, a trend where unsecured 4% with Go&Grow Unlimited will sooner or later run out of arguments. Therefore, it will be exciting to observe the investor growth in the coming weeks on the platform. So far, the numbers are still at a very high level, although the trend is definitely downward. Next up, we are looking at a platform that is probably undergoing its biggest challenge since its inception, namely Estateguru. The performance of the loan portfolio has dropped already quite a bit in recent months, but now it became dramatically worse. As of January 24th, 21.6% of the loan portfolio are defaulted and an extra 2.83% of loans were only recovered partially. Needless to say, this is the worst performance since the platform started to share the performance of the loan portfolio publicly. The situation seems to be particularly bad in Germany, where half of the outstanding portfolio is now in the process of recovery. Since the performance in other countries such as Latvia or Estonia is way better, there is a strong assumption that those issues are not primarily related to the economic circumstances, but rather that something else is a bit off in the German market. This belief was now also indirectly confirmed by the platform itself, as Estateguru was recently pointing out that there are some ongoing internal investigations regarding possible violations by internal staff of the German team. The timeline of 2020-2021 indicates that issues might be related to former German country manager Nicola Piccione, who has first been downgraded from his position as a country manager and then had to leave the company in June 2022. So far, I was not able to speak with the new Estateguru CEO Michael Stamm in person to find out more about those investigations/allegations. I did, however, talk to some of the potentially accused German team members of that time, and after talking to them, my personal feeling is that Estateguru is doing them injustice. Now, those chats, they have been informal and I have been asked to not say any names or quote anything, but from the stories that I have heard, although I can obviously not verify them, my personal gut feeling is that Estateguru is maybe trying to find a little bit of a scapegoat right now for its performance-related issues, and who might be an easier target than potentially people that are barely in the position now to justify themselves now. Now, just to be very clear on this, obviously this doesn't go to say that the former German team members didn't contribute at all to the struggles that we are currently seeing in the German market, but all I'm saying and all I'm personally believing is that the root of those issues have been somewhere else. This would confirm also the statements by co-founder Kaspar Kaljuve, with whom I talked to in September last year. According to him, both the sales team and the country managers have no decision-making power with regards to risk assessment and financing decisions on the platform. On another note, he also mentioned that the decision to put a new country manager in place was mainly due to a new hiring profile that is a better fit to acquire institutional investors rather than a downgrade because of performance-related issues.
He didn't have any saying in the risk decisions. No decision ever is made by the sales team or country manager. The reason for Nicola leaving is actually more general. So what's happening right now in Germany is that we are like a little bit turning around the profile of our employees. So several like these people have left who have, like, let's say real estate or this real estate brokerage background, and we have hired a lot of people, and we are now even like having some discussions with people that have more banking background. And the reason is because the different institutional investors that we are not talking about, and we are like doing due diligence on us, and basically they are setting some kind of terms that on what terms they will invest. So this is basically, it's like this banking standards that the profile of the people, the processes, the standards that the institutional investors want to see in order for them to fund the projects.
Aside from the performance issues that we're seeing in Germany, there's now also an added staff vacuum since German country manager Björn Kombecher decided to join Deutsche Bank at the end of the year, and the same goes for marketing chef Anja Seliger, who also took a new job offer at the beginning of January. And if we are talking about an internal vacuum, then the bridge towards Twino is not very long, a platform that since the departure of CEO Anastasia Olejnika has, in my view, clearly taken a step backwards. There are rarely any new information regarding the recovery of the Russian funds, and from a few interactions that I had with their CEO, I got the feeling that there's also no real plan how to solve the matter accordingly. The consequences are clearly visible in the numbers. Only once in the past 6 months, the platform was able to facilitate more than 2.8 million euros. This leads to an annual result of around 100 million euros, which is the lowest funded loan volume since 2016, the first year of the platform. Next up, we are talking about LANDE, a platform that, in my personal view, is one of the most promising newcomers that we are currently having in the peer-to-peer space. And although there is no real update as such that we could talk about, there is a recent issue that many investors are facing, which is cash drag. Now, we're having a very high demand, a very little supply, and many investors asking themselves now what to do. The first advice that I would give is a very simple one, which is to be a bit more patient. Now, I know this sounds like a probably very bold advice, but obviously it's currently not the most demanding time for many farmers. Now, that might change in spring though, when borrowers want to take advantage of seasonal financing. So I assume in a few months' time from now, the supply should pick up again significantly. Another option is to collect a few loans through the secondary market, which is especially helpful for smaller investors that are a bit on a budget, since you can invest already with as little as €2 and thus build a broader loan portfolio right from the start. And the third option would be to use the simple auto invest feature. Now, I know that doesn't come along with a lot of choice in terms of, picking your interest rate, the loan to value or the loan term, but otherwise it becomes quite difficult these days to manually grab loans on the primary market, as many of you probably will know. Next, we're looking at Esketit, a platform that has been among the fastest growing platforms in 2022. In December, there have been 16.2 million euros facilitated through the platform, which led to a total invested amount of 144.8 million euros in 2022. Now, to put those numbers into perspective, in each of the last 4 months of 2022, Esketit was able to fund more loans than Bondora. In absolute numbers, those have been approximately 4.5 million euros during this period. The outstanding portfolio increased to a level of 26.3 million euro, so roughly a fourfold increase over the past year. A positive development to highlight is that the platform has now lowered the premium level when selling loans through the secondary market from 20% to 2%. A good call, since the purpose should primarily be to serve investors who need liquidity quickly and not serve those who want to generate profit through it. Since also Esketit is currently facing a higher demand at the moment, the platform offers now a new investment opportunity where you can invest directly into the growth of the Jordan lender Money for Finance. The business loan, with a total of €500,000, comes with an interest rate of 12% and a term of either 6 or 12 months. The loans come along with a buyback guarantee, the interest payments are made monthly, and the principal is repaid at the end of the term. Last but not least, we are talking about Income Marketplace, where we got a little teaser for what is to be expected in 2023. And it seems like investors can look forward to especially one thing this year, which is higher liquidity. Among other things, the introduction of a secondary market is planned for 2023, as well as the launch of an early buyback option where lenders with longer maturities can also specify voluntary repurchase dates at an earlier point in time. In addition, there's also plans to introduce a yield curve, which is intended to benefit investors who invest their money over a longer period of time. Further details are to be expected over the course of the year. I would say that's a wrap for the first video on this new YouTube channel. If you stayed until the end, thank you so much for watching. And in case you would like to see more, then please make sure to subscribe to this channel. Take good care, guys, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.